Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Ball Vintage, and today's video is a story time. This is a story on the time I tried to catch a bitch outside. How about that? This story happened in 2015, and basically, I got a job at a call center, and it was for collections. And I was working collections, and I really felt like I had a calling for a child because I could collect, bitch. Bitch, if there's something that I can do, it's collect. But the job was very stressful, and I didn't last very long there, okay? Not because I couldn't collect, but because I just don't do disrespect, and the team I was on, the lady was too disrespectful, and I wasn't gonna hold nothing back, bitch. So yeah, that's another story for another day. But basically, when I first started working there was a young lady, and I use this term extremely lightly, that took a liking to me immediately. I don't know if it's because I came up in that bitch looking like this bitch, okay? And I don't know, I was shitting on everybody because I remember my first day and every single woman in that office was staring a bitch down because work started at 8 a.m. and I was coming in there looking like this bitch. Bitch, I was flawless, okay? I was beat to the gods. And so obviously when you're working at a call center, people don't give a fuck about their appearance, but I ain't that bitch. If I am working somewhere, I'm gonna look my best always. So if I have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get this face on, to get to work on time, bitch, you better believe I will. And so because of that, people was mad, but this girl in particular took a liking to me. So I was just like, oh, cool. I wasn't trying to be buddy, best friends, homies, chum, but I was open to having somebody show me the ropes because she was new, but she was there longer than I was. So she started about, I think, 2 weeks before we did. And so it was me, her, and this other guy that I would hang out with. And so me and the other guy were on the same team. We were on a training team. And then that girl was on a different team because she's been there already, okay? But anyway, I remember she approached me one day when I was sitting in the hallway and she told me she liked my makeup or something. I don't remember what it was. She complimented me on something, and from then she just kept talking to me, so I talked to her, and bada boom bada bing, that was it. Okay, so we were cool, and because I was hanging out with him, all three of us decided that we would have lunch together. When we have breaks, we would just talk, all three of us, and talk about work and blah blah blah, raise its hair. You know, you make work friends all the time, right? So I made friends with these two people. Me and the guy are still cool to this day. That's my homie. And both of us had a falling out with this girl because she's motherfucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, so for like 5 months, everything's golden. I don't see it. I think she might be a Gemini, you know, but I don't remember what sign she is. Or was she a Sag? I can't remember what sign she was. Either way, that's not relevant. Crazy is crazy. I think she was an Aquarius. I really do. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, you guys. The point is, I could not fuck with this bitch. So it was probably about 5 months working there, and we had moved locations. She fangirled me. Okay, not like for YouTube or anything like that. Like she would, because YouTube, I wasn't even popping, bitch. I was not popping. But like, she was up my ass. I'm not gonna lie. She was up my ass. She was very clingy, and I was cool with it because she wasn't hurting nobody, but she was up my ass about me. She was up my ass about my relationship, not in a negative way either. We followed each other on Twitter. We were cool. One day in particular, because we always used to go to lunch together, me, her, and the other guy, we'll just call him Crystal and Johnny, okay? So me, Crystal, and Johnny would always go out to lunch and break together, like I said. So one day in particular, she was on a call and she was trying to get her payment. She was trying to get the payment closed and secured, and it was running into the lunchtime. We only had like 40 minutes or something like that to eat for lunch. We waited for her for 10 minutes, and then we were like, okay, we only have half an hour. We still have to order our food. It still has to be made. Like, we don't have time for this, so we're just gonna have to leave her ass. Not thinking it's gonna be a big deal. Child, she was mad as hell. And this is the first time I looked at her like, bitch, you're crazy. Because it's really not that deep. What are we supposed to do? Wait for you for another 10 minutes? Or we don't know how long you're gonna be on this call? Not get our lunch because we're waiting for you? Bitch, I don't follow nobody. I don't follow behind nobody. I do my own thing. We waited for you for 10 minutes. We're not waiting any longer. Anyway, that didn't go over too well, child. She was very vexed with us, and she wasn't talking to us for the rest of the day, and we were kind of like, okay. Me and him were looking at each other like, this bitch is mad, okay? And so after work that day, she got on the bus. She didn't sit with us, and so we were just trying to like poke the sleeping bear. And we were teasing her or whatever, and she's like, no, you guys are rude, you guys are rude. And I'm just like, how are we rude? We were hungry. My belly don't wait for nobody, honey. It really doesn't. Like, if I need to eat, I'm going to eat. Like, why am I waiting for you? Please let me know. You can't go to the store by yourself? I'm so confused. So she was mad or whatever, but we figured she would be okay the next day. And she was. So maybe a couple weeks go by or a week goes by. This is at a point now where I'm missing a lot of work because I'm not enjoying the job. I got switched to a team that I hated. I got switched to the team of the Wicked Witch of the West Child, and I could not deal. And so I started to have an attitude problem, and I just wasn't having it. Like, I just wasn't having it. So I was missing a lot of work, and they were like, where are you, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I'm coming the next day. But I always had a reason though. I never like just didn't show up. I always had a reason or a doctor's note or something, you know what I mean, to cover my ass, because that place, like, if you miss work, they fire you. Like, it just is what it is. Anyway, they were checking on me, see what I was doing, and so I let them know that I would be in the next day or whatever. And then they were always like, oh my god, you should have come today, like, you would have got bumped up to a different team, blah blah blah, because you weren't here. They bumped up somebody else, the next best person, because I was good at my job, you guys. Like, I can collect, bitch. I can collect, okay? Because of that, yeah, I missed my opportunity to get bumped to a different team, and instead I got bumped to a horrible team. Like I was saying, this one week in particular, she had met my boyfriend. She never said nothing to my face about it, but one day on Twitter, she decided that she wanted to sub me. I don't do that. I just don't. Like, you're just not going to, like, no. I don't do subtweets. You see my at, you know what the fuck it is, you're following me. Bitch, you better fucking at me, okay? Because I don't subtweet you, so pay me the same respect. And I didn't think that there was anything for me to subtweet you about, so there's no reason for you to be subtweeting me. I don't give a fuck. She ends up subtweeting something along the lines of, she was coming for interracial dating. As y'all know, I don't give a fuck who anybody chooses to date, okay? Including myself. I've never ever dated a white man before in my life except for Mr. Shooter. And I never expected to date a white boy. Now, I personally don't think anything is wrong with interracial dating, okay? But she did. And it's one thing if we're not friends, we don't know each other, and you have an opinion about this. But the tweet happened right after I had I think I tweeted a picture or something of me and my boyfriend. I don't remember what it was, or of Shooter by himself. And so it was right after that she started subtweeting. And so I fucking lost it, because she was going in. She was talking about interracial dating. She was talking about her kids are gonna know what it is to be black. She's proud to be black. But the bitch looked like she bleached her fucking skin. The bitch looked like she got cake soap on. She looked casket motherfucking ready, okay? Because the bitch didn't know how to match her foundation. And when I tried to tell her how to do it, she wanted to give me attitude and try to school me. I said, bitch, you look ashy, bitch. What are you telling me? You look like a gross sister. What are you telling me? You asked me. She brought me to the mall, okay? We went to Sephora together, and I tried to help her, and she just was not taking my help, and she still came to work looking the fucking mess. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna let this bitch be. But that's before, obviously. That's when I should have known the bitch was crazy. Any bitch that don't match her foundation to her motherfucking face and neck, bitch, is crazy. Anyway, she was subtweeting and going in. I wasn't gonna let that shit slide. And so this is when we started to actually beef, okay? And so, I mean, there's just a couple things that you're not gonna fuck with when it comes to me. My money, my man, my family, and my shit. 4 things, honey, because y'all know I'm materialistic as shit. But those are the 4 things you're not gonna fuck with when it comes to me. And if you decide to, then you can get slapped, okay? So I was pissed. So instead of subtweeting her, because only a lame bitch subtweets, I decided that I was going to at her, and I said, do not subtweet me. What? Matter of fact, I don't know what the fuck I said. Either way, I added her because I'm just like, you're not about to disrespect me on the timeline. You know I'm tweeting. I just tweeted a picture of my boyfriend who is Caucasian, and you're talking about biracial kids being ugly and this and that and the third, and you have the nerve, bitch, because this bitch was not cute in the least, okay? And I would post her picture so y'all know I ain't lying, but I already damaged her on Twitter around this time. Anyway, of course I was offended by what she was saying, because I'm like, first of all, we're supposed to be cool. You never said none of this to my face, so why are you now on Twitter going in? Like, wait? So I added her. We're going back and forth. She is trying to dismiss me. I'm trying to dismiss her. Either way, I told her to cut the fuckery, okay? And I wasn't playing that shit. So it was from that night, okay, because that happened like after work one night. It was from that night that I decided that I ain't fucking with this bitch no more because she's fake as fuck. Like, why don't you say that to my man's face? Like, I don't get it. Like, why don't you try it, bitch? Anyway, I was mad as hell, and I didn't talk to her anymore. When it was happening, I messaged the guy and I told him. He's like, no way, bitch. He was gay. He's gay as hell. That is my homie. Oh my god, I love him so much. Like, we're BFF. But yeah, so he's like, bitch, he's going in or whatever, and he already had his reservations about her, but like, he was team Bo, team bougie all day, and so he was like, no, because he knows me and he knows Shooter, and he loves us and we love him, and so it's just like, you know, he ain't standing for that shit because that's fake as fuck. Like, real recognize real, okay? So he didn't like cut her off the same time I did, but she ended up pissing him off or something, and he decided he wasn't gonna talk to her for whatever reasons. I don't know what their problems are. Anyway, she was the type of girl that would tell me all her business. And I'm not that girl. Like, if I just met you and I'm not sure about you, and this is exactly why I did not tell her my business, because of how she talked so much about, she was telling me her friends that didn't even work there. Like, she was telling me her friend's business, and then the same girl that she was talking about actually ended up working there, and I said, oh Lord Jesus, is far. She was just too much, okay? So I didn't talk to her after that point, and it was just a little bit of tension at work. No big deal, okay? I wasn't gonna slap her at work or nothing like that. Not just yet, okay? Because I'm about to lose my job for no hoe, okay? Bills had to be paid. So it was getting to a point where I didn't like being at work, and this was going on for a good 2 months, that I would miss a lot of work. But one time in particular, I was actually sick, and I didn't just call in to call in. This week I had strep throat, okay? And it was the worst time of my life, child. Okay, not the worst time of my life, but it was pretty fucking bad. Strep throat sucks ass. And so I missed about 3 days, maybe 4. And so the only people that knew where I was or knew about my whereabouts at work was the guy. What did I call him in the story, y'all? I don't remember. I said Crystal and James or something like that. James, whatever we call him. So only James and my supervisor knew where I was. And nobody else needed to know except for the fine ass vice president, child, because he was just so fine and like, oh my gosh. If y'all seen this man, okay, the girls would goo goo gaga over him. He was a beautiful eye candy. He was a sight for sore eyes, child. He would heal the blind with his beauty. Like, he was so gorgeous, okay? This was the gorgeous. He was gorgeous, and he was I don't know how old he was. He was probably like he was like a sugar daddy, child. I don't even know, like a fine sugar daddy, but he was so freaking handsome. He looked like Drake, but like 30 times better than Drake, because Drake is not attracted to me, okay? I'm so sorry, he's just not. But he looked like Drake with a beard, though Drake with a beard is pretty fine. He looked like Drake with a beard, but like salt and pepper, and like, he was just gorgeous, okay? So I would always be staring at him in a creepy way, because I was just like, oh my god, he's so fine. But yeah, so those are the only people that needed to know my whereabouts, okay? Nobody else needed to know where the fuck I was, because it was nobody else's business. But because I was not there for 3 days, people decided that they wanted to make assumptions. The person in particular that decided she wanted to speak on where I was this bitch that I ain't fucking with Crystal, okay? So Crystal decides to take it upon herself to tell everybody that I quit. And I'm just like, bitch, who quit? And how do you have this information? My thing is, if we are not friends, my name should not be in your motherfucking mouth, okay? If we were friends and we're not now, my name should not be in your motherfucking mouth. And so I had a problem off rip, and this is when I developed an issue with the bitch, because I'm just like, I don't talk to you. I have not talked to you in over a week. You don't know nothing about me, bitch. I know all you, but you don't know nothing about me. So don't be at work spreading rumors talking about I quit. It was after I had returned from having strep throat. And so when I walked in after being sick, the bitch looked at me like she seen a ghost, because why did you tell everybody that I quit? I didn't know yet that she told people that I quit, but I found out the day that I got back, because two people on her team, the people that she was gossiping about me with, or two, she's the one that told them that I had quit. And so my only issue with her was that my name was in her mouth. Like, I don't have your name in my mouth. You are a non-motherfucking factor, so there's no reason for you to be talking about me. If I ain't talking about you, bitch, I don't even know you exist. Like, what? So that's the only reason I was mad, because I just take it as disrespect. Like, if we're not cool, if we're not friends, I don't know you anymore. Well, I never did, but like, if we don't know each other, then there's no reason for you to be speaking my name. Like, we had an argument on Twitter. You disrespected me on Twitter. Therefore, we're not friends, and you shouldn't be worried about me because I'm not worried about you. So that's why I was mad. That's what I took as disrespect, her talking about me when we're not friends. And it was lies on top of that. So I'm in the car with these girls. They're driving me to they're driving me home, basically. And they're telling me that she told everybody that I quit. And I'm just like, what? I was so disgusted. I was mad as hell. I didn't address her about it because I was just like, whatever, she can go on, okay? I had a job to keep, okay? I ain't that ratchet that I'll throw away my job to smack a bitch at work for talking about me when she shouldn't be, okay? So I let that shit go, okay? I am passive aggressive. So it takes me a minute to actually get mad to the point where I feel like you need to get popped. It was just building up. Like, it was just building up. She had already upset me from before, and it just kept getting, every time she did something, it would get worse and worse and worse. And now that we weren't cool, it was that much easier for me to be angered. Like I said, I brushed that shit under the rug. Maybe a week or two after me finding out that she told everybody I quit, I ended up getting fired. Not a big deal. I was cool to be fired because, like I said, I was missing a lot of work. I cussed out my supervisor 100 times. I knew what was happening, because once you get bumped to that team, it's like the plague. Nobody wants to go on this team, and usually if they bump you to that team, that means they're gonna let you go soon. I had no problem with being fired. I got fired. Who the fuck cares? Not a big deal. So after I got fired, I went, because they brought me to like this next room. They gave me a little letter, whatever, and they're like, we think you're gonna be great at whatever it is that you do, you know, you're awesome, blah blah blah. And I was like, bitch, I know, you ain't gotta tell me, and look at me now, bitch. But anyway, I go back to my desk, I call homeboy's extension, and I'm like, I put my headset on and I call his extension, and I'm like, I just got fired. He's like, no. I'm like, I just got fired. I will call you, or call me when you're done work, and we can talk about this. I'll tell you exactly what happened, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. So I leave. They were trying to tell me they're gonna escort me out. I said, bitch, where? You're not escorting me out of nowhere. They were being so extra about it. I said, nope. I walked like 10 steps ahead of them when I was walking back to my desk, because they were supposed to like follow me to my desk and wait for me to get my stuff, and then I was supposed to leave, but that's not what happened. I just left without them escorting me, because like, are you guys the fucking police? What do I need an escort for? The fuck? Do I look like a John? What do I need an escort for? I can leave by myself. I am not handicapped. I'm good. So I didn't let them escort me out. I just left like a fucking G and took it on the chin. and that was that. So I left work that day and I was cool. They told me I would get my severance check and I was cool. So this day is over. I'm doing my regular schmegular. I hadn't unfollowed her on Twitter because I'm not the type of person to do that. Like, if me and you have beef and I follow you, I don't unfollow you. I just wait for the person to block and unblock me. But she didn't do that. I just feel like if you unfollow somebody, then you're really bothered by them. And I wasn't bothered by her, so I didn't unfollow her because I'm just like, I don't even have the energy to waste on you. Like, I don't even have the energy to click unfollow, okay? That's how much you don't matter. So I didn't unfollow her, and so she was still on my timeline. I don't know if she didn't realize I didn't unfollow her, but she decided to subtweet me again. Didn't I already call you out for this shit, bitch? So this time she takes it upon herself to tweet some dumb shit about me getting fired. She's like, ha 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 ha, karma's a bitch, this bitch got fired. Karma? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, how about you guys just read the tweets for yourself? So basically, we were going back and forth on Twitter. I had her on WhatsApp because I had her phone number saved in my phone still. And I basically had to page her on WhatsApp because I don't do the back and forth on Twitter. Like, we're not gonna do this. You already disrespected me a total of 3 times, bitch. 3 times is the charm. Like, if you want to get slapped, popped, stomped on, we could go. So I went on WhatsApp and I paged her and I'm like, listen, the last thing that you want me to do is show up at work on that ass. You don't want them problems. So either you stop with the fuckery or you apologize and we could be done with this, because at the end of the day, me and you are not cool. We don't par, we're not friends. So there's no reason for you to be talking about me. I don't talk about you. You're irrelevant. You asked me for help. I basically called her on all her shit because she was trying to talk shit about me on the timeline, and it wasn't just that one tweet. She had multiple tweets, and so I went in on her and told her about herself, all the information that she's ever told me. It was just like Bad Girls Club. Like, I gave 0 fucks. I was at my wit's end. I kept all that shit in. It was bottled up anger. I kept it all in until this very day. And so I threatened her, and she told me that I ain't about that life. So what I did was I pulled up on her ass at motherfucking work, and the bitch would not come outside, and I couldn't get inside because I didn't have a swipe card anymore. My swipe card was deactivated, bitch. I went beep, and the thing said red. Like, when you swipe your card and the door will turn green, or the little light will turn green and it'll open. But I tried to catch her outside after work and she would not come outside, and I was pissed because I wanted to page her face to face. Like, how you gonna tell me I'm not about that life? Don't ever in your life. If you want to talk shit, we can go. Like, I didn't talk shit about you this whole entire time. If I'm your friend till the end. That's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Even if we fall out, I'm not going to say this, that, and the third about you. If somebody asks me what happened, I'm going to let them know. And that's where I leave it. You know, I'm not going to do all the extra, but she wanted to go, so I took it there. And then when I show up and I want to page you, you don't want to come outside. So basically, I tried to catch her outside. How about that? And she wasn't about that life, telling me that I wasn't about that life. But bitch, don't ever in your life tell me that I'm not about that life. This is on WhatsApp. She blocked me after I cussed her on WhatsApp, and that made me even more mad. And that's why I ended up pulling up at work. But, and mind you, I didn't have a car back then, okay, bitch? I took the bus all the way to York Mills from Scarborough to get in her ass, okay? That is a far fucking trip. Far as fuck. Just to catch her outside. That is it. I love you all, and I will definitely see you in the next one.